Hello, thank you for joining us in this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our bets and your bets, it's going to be another profitable day. As we continue our NFL tour throughout all the teams, we get into our last team of the NFC South, and our prediction for the winner of the NFC South, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We believe they go back-to-back. I know a lot of hoopla on the Falcons, and understandably so. If the Falcons would have probably took an edge rusher in the first round like they should have there with Dallas Turner, we might be leaning a different way here. I understand preparing for the future, but when you just sign a quarterback who's got guaranteed money for the first 2 years, and you take a dead cap hit over, well north of $100 million in order to let the rookie play and get rid of him, and you're not going to have a $50 million a year backup quarterback. Like I said, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, the Bucs do lose offensive coordinator. That could be a big deal. Baker Mayfield had a resurgent year last year. Congratulations, Baker, on your new contract, by the way, as well. And thank you for showing Baker that $35 million a year for a quarterback who is, like you, not maybe elite, but a good quarterback, doesn't deserve $60 million and saving your team a bunch of money on the cap. So, in that retrospect. But anyway, let's get to everything on this one. So, Tampa Bay plus 310 to win the division. This is one of our favorite plays of the year. Now, we do think this is going to probably boil down to a tiebreaker, as we think Tampa Bay probably ends up right around that 9-win mark as well. Maybe outside shot at 10, but definitely we think 9. Their schedule a little bit tougher than the Falcons this year as well. So, but at plus 310, fantastic value here in the NFC South for Tampa Bay. So we do love that play as well. So Tampa Bay, here's where it gets interesting. Some books 8.5, some 7.5 wins. I'm going to tell you right now, over 7.5 wins is one of our favorite plays of the season. For the Bucs, it is a little juicy, somewhere around minus the 150 mark. Well worth the investment there. I still can't believe it's at 7.5. FanDuel right now, as we're recording this, they're over 7.5 wins for the Bucs. And I think, now I will say this, the front half of the schedule is not a lot of fun. They have some doozies. We're going to go through the schedule here in just a minute, and then we'll hit some player props like we've done on every show so far. But it is not a lot of fun in that first half of the season. So, you've got Rachaad White, who showed up big last year, showed all what he can do. Mike Evans, Godwin. Offensive line a little bit better, defense a little bit better. Should be in pretty good shape here for Tampa. Let's go through that schedule, though, and we'll get going through it. So, first week, at home against Washington. That should be a win. Week 2, at Detroit. We're going to mark that up as a loss. Week 3, at home against Denver. Easy win. Denver, in my opinion, is going to be one of the worst teams in the league. So, them, Carolina, the Giants, throw them all in the same boat. So, on that one. Week 4, Philly at home. We're going to put it as questionable. They did beat Philly last year in the playoffs. They do have some matchups that really favor them in that one. So, defensively, I guess we kind of see what they look like the first 3 weeks. But so far, we're 2-1-1. At Atlanta, we'll mark that up as a loss, as a division loss. So 2-2-1. At New Orleans, that's going to be a question mark, so 2-2-2. Baltimore at home. Like we said, it gets tough. 2-3-2. Atlanta at home, 3-3-2. At Kansas City, loss, 3-4-2. San Francisco at home. This one here, this is going to be a tough one. I'm just telling you right now. Here's where the schedule gets easier after the Week 11 bye. At New York, I think a win. At Carolina, a win. Vegas at home, a win. At the Chargers, we think a win. Dallas on a Sunday night game. It's at Dallas. We'll chalk it up as loss. Carolina and New Orleans at home to finish up the season. So as we look through that schedule, 1, 2, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We think we probably got 9 in the bag. Outside shot at 10 here. That's why that over 7.5 is going to be one of the easiest ones, I think, all season long out there when we do look at season win totals. Plus, I honestly think 9 games with a tie break, but 10 games definitely wins this division. Tampa Bay has a shot at that. Now, I do like the Week 11 bye as well. And then if you look through their games here, we do have, Monday night game against Baltimore in Week 7. We've got a Thursday night game that's at Atlanta on his Amazon. And then we do have one Sunday night game as well, and that's at Dallas. So the primetime games for the most part. One home game against Baltimore. So maybe that's a game that they should lose on paper. Maybe all of a sudden now with that schedule helps out a little bit on that one there. So just keep that in mind as well as we go through all the schedules, all that kind of stuff. So, but we do like what we saw out of them last season, and we expect a lot of the same. So let's go look at player props, as we got quite a few in this one for the Bucs. Baker Mayfield over 3,650 yards passing. We do like that one. Baker does like to sling it. We expect him to be healthy for 15-plus games. This dude he's got heart, and more heart. He's played through a season of nothing but injury, but we do like over 3,650 for passing yards there for Mr. Baker Mayfield. Baker's not the best quarterback, but he does give you a bunch. Baker Mayfield passing touchdowns over 23.5. This is one of our favorite bets for the Bucs as well as the win total and to win the division. So over 23.5 for Baker on that one. Now we get up to Chris Godwin over 850.5 receiving yards. We're gonna lay off of that one. He has had a lot of health issues. So therefore, we're going to stick away from the 850.5 there. Mike Evans over 1,050.5. This one's going to be tight. I think he does get to 1,000, just signs a big contract. He does miss some games, or he's always on the injury report, and he's very streaky. He does get you to 1,000 yards, but it seems like he'll have 3 catches for 30, and then he'll have 7 catches for 210. And 3 touchdowns, right? So if you got him in fantasy, I understand the streakiness, right? But over 1,050 for the season, we do like that for Evans. And like I said, Godwin, we are staying away at the 850. Now we get into receiving touchdowns. So let's take a look at those there. As soon as we can. We only got to scroll through, seems like 2,000 guys here, right? So, all right, so then we get into touchdowns.
Hey, Coach Crowd. Yes, sir. Coach, would you take these 2 gentlemen to the gymnasium, have them run those...
Godwin, 4.5 touchdowns. So 5 TDs. We kind of like that one there. That's plus money as well. So Godwin does out of the slot create some matchup problems once they do get in low. Do get into that red zone. Even though I will say this, Baker looks at tight ends more in the red zone probably than anybody. It's amazing to me on how many times he looked at the tight ends. But that's what you're supposed to do. Those tight ends, they're matchup problems, especially when you get down in there. All right, now we'll go to rushing yards. They were trying to run the ball desperately last year. The start of last year was tough. You know what I mean? It was not an easy one last year. All right, so we're gonna look for Rachaad White here. Looks like we got a little bit of issues, so we're just gonna go through touchdowns on rushing. But we do like Rachaad for about 1,200 yards. Even more when we're considering his catch radius his amount of balls he can catch as well. He's also one of the top backs for fantasy as well. So Rachaad White, look for his props in that one. So we'll give you kind of a rundown of what we went through again. Win total over 7.5 for the Bucs. It is hammer, and more hammer. We think they're at a mid-9, possibly 10 wins, as long as Baker's not out for a couple more than 2 games for the season. Second part, Baker over 3,650 yards. and over 23.5 touchdowns. We like both of those. Mike Evans, over 1,050 receiving yards. Godwin at 850, we're staying away. Also, Rashad White on his rushing prop and touchdowns. We like Rashad quite a bit this season. And then also to win the division at plus 310 has one of the best values that you're going to find out there for a division bet for the season for the Bucs. So that wraps up the NFC South. Like I said, we do think the Bucs get that going. If you want to see all of our bets, we've got those for you. Really easy to find on 3 spots online, TikTok and YouTube channel pages. Also at the end of every episode on YouTube. Docs.google.com/spreadsheet. Click that link. Go to football 2425. You'll be able to see all the bets that we have posted as well. Just scroll down just a shade and you'll be able to see all those season-long bets. We will be adding more as we go along, but just give you what we've got so far on that one. So make sure you do take a look. Also, you want more content like this, all you have to do is hit subscribe or follow, depending on the social media platform that you're watching us on. Will show up in your subscription or followers tab when we drop a new episode of bets. And to be really honest, folks, you're getting probably 1, maybe 2 a day. When football and basketball ramp up, maybe we get to 3. But you're getting a lot of action, so make sure you do subscribe or follow so you can get all that info to help you out with all of your bets. Also, want to make life even easier than that to find us. All you have to do is turn on those notifications for the social media platform you're watching us on. You get a notification sent to your phone or device to let you know Sports Bets for Free has dropped a new episode of bets. Give you plenty of time, like I said, to match those up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. Also, on TikTok, we do go live approximately 5-6 nights a week during the baseball season. Might be a shade less during football, but just to give you all a heads up, we do go live a bunch to go through all of your questions and all the plays that you're looking at. So make sure you follow us on TikTok and turn on those notifications for us so you can get that as soon as possible. We do appreciate everybody's support as always and look forward to seeing you on the next episode.